Can government officials just move billions of naira belonging to Nigerians simply because someone in a powerful office or seat wrote a memo? It's a simple question that we all need to ask ourselves. My people, let us talk truthfully, seriously. In this country, Nigeria, we just wake up every day and something new is thrown at us. And nobody dares to give full account. Or instead, what we get is press statement response. So today, let us talk about this 54 billion. 54 billion authorized by an ordinary memo. When government begins to treat public money like private property, you begin to ask yourself, does someone occupying an office automatically convert everything in that office to the person's private property? My people, let me make this very plain today, because sometimes government officials hide very serious matters behind big grammar and legal lingua, then cover it up with complicated memos. They use words that make ordinary Nigerians feel as though the issue is too technical to understand. But no, it is not. It is not that technical. But this particular issue is not that difficult to understand. At the heart of this matter is a simple question. Can government officials just move billions of naira belonging to Nigerians simply because someone in a powerful office or seat wrote a memo? It's a simple question that we all need to ask ourselves. So let me go straight to it. The People's Gazette, there's a report there that alleges that an internal memo from the office of the chief of staff, the same chief of staff, we have not finished one illegal agency that has money in our budget. We have not finished with that conversation. There's a fresh conversation. They allege that just using an internal memo from the office of the chief of staff to the president, it was used to set aside approximately 54 billion from money belonging to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, known as NUPRC. Hey, God. Now, let us break that down. The NUPRC, NUPRC, regulates Nigeria's upstream oil and gas industry. Oil and gas. This oil and gas that is almost ruining the people of Mile. This oil and gas that is leaking everywhere in Mile, and everything is boiling, bubbling, and burning. Anyway, let's come back to NUPRC. It collects certain revenues and is allowed to retain part of those collections to fund its operations. According to the report, the NUPRC was directed to divide that money. A portion would be used for its normal activities, while another portion, about 54 billion. See, the way Nigerians call billion, oh God. Anyway, let's go back. 54 billion would be reserved for upgrading oil and gas metering systems. Metering systems are simply those tools used to measure how much crude oil and gas Nigeria produces, sells, or loses. So meter. On the surface, that would sound reasonable, Abi. Yes, now, Nigeria certainly needs accurate metering. We need to know how much oil is leaving our soil and how much money should enter the public purse, Abi. But that is not the real problem. The real problem is this. Who had the legal authority to set aside that money? Who approved it? Who approved the spending? Was the National Assembly involved? Which companies received the contracts? How were they selected? What exactly was purchased? Where are the new meters? And after spending 54 billion, what changed? What has changed? What will change? This These are not complicated questions. So these are very simple questions. They're the same questions you would ask if somebody entered your family account, moved a large amount of money, and then told you, don't worry, it was used for an important project. Important project, important to who? You would ask for receipts. Even if the person was your child, pick your card, go to a shop and buy, and then the next thing you receive an alert, you will ask the same question: who gave you authority to pick up my card? What did you buy? You will ask to see the things that were bought. So Nigerians need to ask the same questions. Abi, you would ask for receipts. You would ask who approved it. You would ask to see what was bought. This is all Nigerians are asking. Accountability. Account for what you spend. Account for how you take our money. The newspaper also claims that the law cited in the memo, the Petroleum Industry Act, does not clearly give the office of the Chief of Staff the power to direct the money in that manner. In simple terms, he no get that kind of power. In simple terms, the law may explain where the NUPRC money comes from, but that does not automatically mean anybody in the presidency can decide how billions should be redirected. Yes, now. Because it's now beginning to look like anybody can just sleep, wake up, do one thing, and all we have to do is spring up. Well, the presidential spokesman on Anuga, as usual, reportedly responded that the Chief of Staff did not personally take control of the money. He claimed the Chief of Staff was only communicating the President's directive. Why do we have to hear all this type of anyhow explanations from news? What do they call it? Eh? Communicating the President's directives, and that the NUPRC remained responsible for carrying out the project. Which project? But that answer raises an even bigger question. You know, when you use krukere to introduce something, you will need more krukere to introduce more things. So this their answer raised a bigger question. Does a presidential instruction automatically make everything lawful? Nigeria is not supposed to be governed by personal instructions alone now. We have laws, we have budgets, we have procurement procedures, we have the National Assembly. Any which way they arrived there, they are there, Abi. They are there. We have auditors. People went to school and learned these things. Let's stop making education look like it is useless now. These institutions exist so that no one person, no matter how powerful, can treat public funds like money kept in a private wallet. It's our money. It's money belonging to us Nigerians. And that is why this matter is bigger than one memo. It speaks to a dangerous culture growing in this country. A culture where an allegation is raised, the government issues a vague statement, powerful names are mentioned, and everyone is expected to just stamp, move on. No full records, no open investigation, no clear account of who received what, no consequences, nothing. This is how impunity grows. Impunity simply means people in power believing that the rules do not apply to them. It means acting without fear of investigation, punishment, or public accountability. And when the government begins to behave that way, ordinary people suffer. The trader pays tax, the worker loses money through deductions, the farmer struggles without support, hospitals lack equipment, schools decay, roads collapse, and everything stops. Yet, billions can allegedly be moved through official correspondences, and the public is told not to ask too many questions because we be moved. Let us also be fair. These are allegations. The court has not convicted anyone over this matter. In fact, it may never go to court because the EFCC does not see cases like this. Neither does any investigating anything. And some of us who take our time to probe these things, we are, as they say, the ones who are chasing what. But allegations involving 54 billion cannot be answered with press statements now. It cannot. 54 billion in any currency. It's not chicken money now. It is serious money. It is hospitals, schools, road, everything. It is the well-being of the people. It is sustainable livelihood. It is development in the country. 54 billion. The government must publish their approvals. Show Nigerians the contracts. Name the companies involved. Explain the legal authority. Show the equipment purchased. That's not too much to ask. Show the work completed. Let independent investigators and auditors examine the entire process. Because transparency is not saying, trust me. Transparency is saying, here are the documents. Here is what was done. Check for yourself. Verify. That's what transparency is saying. Nigerians cannot continue like this without being able to prove anything. We cannot live under shadows of them say we say, them say after we say. No. A country where public officials are never properly questioned will eventually become a country where public money has no protection. And when the law becomes weak before the powerful, it becomes useless to the poor. This is not merely about accounting. It is about whether Nigeria still belongs to Nigerians or whether it has become the private estate of those temporarily occupying public offices. Because that is what we have noticed. And then shortly after they leave office, some kind of probe is done and it looks as if somebody is announcing something that we didn't know, and then the next thing we hear is for feature. Why can't we do our investigations, do our probing, and hold people accountable whilst they're still occupying that office? But for people like me, we will continue to ask the questions they would rather avoid, because public money is our money, my money, money belonging to all of us, generations yet unborn. And accountability is not an insult to the government. It is the price that you pay for leadership. That's what accountability is. And if you are not ready to be accountable, then you are not ready for leadership. My name is Hilda Dokubo, and this is the Oracle, and this Oracle will continue to speak.